Okay. All right. Okay. I think we can start our session. So my name is Prof. Raj, and we'd like to welcome the audience online who have joined us online, and also the audience who are here physically. So this is actually the SHARE Peer Multiplier Training program. It's actually for leadership, for quality assurance, transformation for a sustainable higher education ecosystem. We call it Lead QA 2022, and this workshop is taking place from 15 to 19 August, and we have about 19 participants who are attending this program physically. As part of this training program, we have actually arranged for a QA forum, leadership forum, and which is attended by our esteemed guest. And let me just quickly introduce them. But okay, before we go into that, I will quickly just talk about our seminar on internal and external quality assurance, which is SICA 2022, that will be taking place from the 12th and 13th October 2022 at the Bangi Resort Hotel, the very hotel that we are in now. And we have arranged 2 days of exciting program for all the participants. And let me just go through that quickly with you. Okay, we have 3 clusters here: future of higher education, QA, digital or flexible education, and challenges on current situation. Can we just go to the keynote speakers, please? I'll just show you the keynote speakers. So we have a range of exciting keynote speakers. We have the Director General of the Higher Education. He will be there on the first day, second day, and then we have also the MQA CEO, and we also have the MyQAN President, and we also have Mr. Lee Bing Wang from UNESCO, and Professor Daniel Ellis. He will also be one of the keynote speakers, and we have a number of other speakers also. There's Mr. Fong Chi Man, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Money Lion. And let's look at the masterclass. We have arranged for masterclass. Yes, you can. We have a Senior Director, Encik Muhammad Zafir from MQA, Andy Liu, Professor Andy Liu. We have. You can actually look at this website and then browse through all the speakers and the exciting topics that they'll actually present on that day. Okay. So it will definitely be an eye-opener for those who are trying to be in QA or planning to be in the QA career path, and also an eye-opener for those who are already in QA. Perhaps they can learn a few more things, right? Okay, I think with that, I think I will now go to our QA Quality Assurance Leadership Forum. So this is done in conjunction with our SHARE PMT Lead QA 2022 program. So we have our moderator here with us, which is Professor Dr. Haja Hanim Saleh, who is the Director of Quality Advancement Center, University Tenaga Nasional. And our panelists are, we have Professor Dr. Yaya, Director Quality and Risk Management Center, University Technology Malaysia. And we have Mr. Jamaluddin Ibrahim, Senior Manager, Quality Management Department, University Technology Petronas. And we have Professor Dr. Aziza Abdullah, Assistant Vice Chancellor, Institute of Quality and Knowledge Advancement, University Technology Mara, UIT. Okay, so we have all our esteemed moderator and also esteemed speakers, or should I say guest of honors. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll hand over the session to Prof. Hanim. Please, over to you. Thank you. Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Raj, for the introduction just now. So, a very good afternoon and welcome everyone, those who are with us here in the Lead QA 2022 participants, and also those who are online. Welcome to our forum today, the Quality Assurance Leadership Forum, okay, with our distinguished speakers. So let me just introduce our first speaker for today, Professor Dr. Aziza Abdullah. who is the Assistant Vice Chancellor INCA, UITM. So let me just read briefly her brief biodata. Okay, Prof. Aziza is a professor of management accounting at the UITM Shah Alam, and currently she's the Assistant Vice Chancellor at INCA, or Institute of Quality and Knowledge Advancement. Previously, she was the Director of Internal Quality Assurance Unit from 2017 to 2022, and she's responsible for university program accreditation, and also she graduated from PhD in accounting of Portsmouth University, United Kingdom, and her Master of Accounting from Curtin University, Australia. She also a Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, CIMA, and Certified Officer in Quality Assurance of Higher Education. Actually, she's one of the first cohort, of this, what we call COCAHES, Certified Officer in Quality Assurance in Higher Education by MQA. The convocation will be soon, the first batch, I guess in October, so she has very vast experience of 34 years, and she's been actively involved in coaching candidates for CIMA strategy, case study. Among her research interests are accounting education, corporate governance, risk management, corruption, and management accounting. Very vast experience, and we're very glad to have her here and as the first speaker, and she's going to share from her experience managing UITM, the largest or the biggest university in Malaysia with multi-location. So her title will be Managing QA in Multi-Location. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Prof. Dr. Aziza to give a talk.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Prof. Hanif, for the kind introduction. So thank you to the organizer of SHARE Peer Multiplier Training. And congratulations to all of you who have been selected out of the 50, I believe. So 60% has been selected there. So today I was given by Ms. Lo, Managing QA in Multi-Location, because of my experience in managing UITM with various campuses. So what I want to share first is that we should be looking at the definition of quality assurance. If you look at the definition, it says that systematic process of review in determining the product or our service which should meet specified requirements. So that is the word process that's determining the process, systematic process. So definitely when we have multi-locations, we have to have the process, the proper process, manageable process, and also we must understand the specified requirements, which in our case, for higher education, it will be understanding the requirement of JKPT requirement as well as the M2A requirement. So I'll share with you the facts about UITM. You can see here that we have 37 campuses with 514 academic programs. So if you imagine all the 514 programs being offered at all 37, then I have to deal with 17,990 locations to be registered with MQA for the MQR. So can you imagine the voluminous of work that our unit has to do? So, and then we can see that the stakeholders that I have to deal with, not only the academics but also non-academics. And look at the students. The students are from various programs as well as various mode. Okay. Next would be, we had UITM was awarded a self-accredited accredited university in 2017. So that's when I started my directorship as well in the quality assurance, internal quality assurance. The moment we have this award, what we did was we need to establish a unit which coordinate the whole campuses as well as the faculties. So what we did, we have our unit, which is called, next slide please. I think this is the one that we have, Internal Quality Assurance Unit. This unit is under one department, which is called Institute of Quality and Knowledge Advancement, which is I'm heading now. So this INCA, the short form is INCA. INCA has got 3 types of units, and then one of it is internal quality assurance unit. So what we did was we appoint one director, and at the beginning we have 2 head of programs. We have 2 head of programs. The first one is head of program accreditation. We must get organized, so we separated the category, the head of program. We put in one person who take charge of science and technology, and another person take charge of social science and humanity. So both of them take care of about 200 programs and with the various locations. Another one is, this is when we have our offshore. So, but now we're going to sort of restructure a bit. When we see need of another issue crop up with this, with related to compliance audit, so we restructure. So you can see that we need to respond to changes. When you are a leader, you have to think ahead. It's not about today and tomorrow. It's about probably 2 to 3, 5 years ahead, because we must be accountable for whatever that we are doing at the moment, so that later people can benefit. You cannot see the benefit now. The benefit can only be observed in the future. So we have, the support is only two people from the administrative who support the whole process. We have fellow. The fellows is actually helping us on the evaluation as well as appointment of the panel. Okay. Next slide. I cannot move. So can I? Oh, that. Okay. So with the many locations, what we have is that we have what we call head of quality unit. So this head of quality unit is stationed in the various locations. So they are our extended family of INCA. So they help us. So why do we have them? Because we want to ensure that anything that comes from MQA or JKPT, we have to make sure they know, they have got that also. So we must make sure we communicate. So definitely communication is very important. We must make sure that everything that we receive must be communicated to the process owner or the program owners, which the program owners have at many locations. And one thing about us is that about UITM, we have the same program throughout the campuses. So meaning one program is being offered at various locations. So for that matter, consistency is important here. So what we have is that we appoint one campus as we call pengurus utama. So that particular campus must manage that particular program. Let's say if we offer that particular program at 4 campuses, so one will be called as pengurus utama, the other 3 will be pengurus pelaksana. So they have, so that in that case, they must also communicate to ensure that the consistency of the operation is there. So at INCA, we have another unit who look at this consistency in the operation or the program management. So we have one more unit which we call it as Sistem Kecemerlangan Operasi, Sistem Quality dan Kecemerlangan Operasi unit. So that particular unit will go around the campuses looking for the consistency in the program management. And the IQA, the earlier unit that I mentioned just now, ensure the compliance. So here we emphasize on these three. So INCA is the one who is responsible for that. So we do it through our head of quality unit. So we are in the communication all the time with the head of the quality unit. So next is that when we talk about you are being awarded as self-accredited university, so we think about the process. Remember that we must have systematic process. So the governance is that the faculty, the college or the campus will prepare the document facilitated by this curriculum affairs unit, which we call it UHAC in our university. So this unit is actually under Deputy of Vice Chancellor Academic, whereas INCA reports directly to the Vice Chancellor. So we separated the reporting system, the structure is there, so we can do monitoring here. So Curriculum Affairs Unit will submit to us the internal quality assurance units under INCA just now, then we present at Senate before going to MQA. So here that is an integration. So integration between UHAC and also IQA here. The gatekeeper, we have two separate gatekeepers. This is the coming in. So coming in from JKPT, so UHAC, Curriculum Affairs Unit, will actually deal with JKPT. So any meetings or whatever is with the JKPT, UHAC has to deal with it. But IQA deals with the MQA. So we say the IQA is the outing gatekeeper. So there's always question, who's the gatekeeper in the meeting? Then the gatekeepers will be silent. Then you say, I know my part, I'm out to MQA. So this UHAC, but again, they have got various locations also. So they have their representative in the campuses also. So they have their coordinators. So they have to communicate with the coordinators. So meaning at the campuses, they replicate whatever that we have in the main campus. Okay, so that is multi-locations. So what we have here is that if you look at the slide just now, before going to Senate, before IQA submit to Senate, presented to Senate, we have one committee, which is called the Jawatan Kuasa Perakuan Periktirafan Program. So you can see that the members is, I'm the one who chair the meeting, but the alternate chairperson is Director of Academic Development. So this Director of Academic Development also report to the DBCA. So they are in the same department as Curriculum Affairs Unit. We also invite the Curriculum Affairs Unit for this meeting because we want them to actually advise us with regard to the JKPT requirement. Because if you want to memorize all, it's not possible. So they do their part and we do our part. So for example, we have got this Garis Panduan Penamaan program. So in the past, we have diploma seni lukis dan seni reka. Now you cannot have that anymore, isn't it? So we have to deal here. What we are doing is that to cut short the process rather than you has to bring to Senate. So what we do here, whenever a program appears in the meeting, and then they presented the old name, then we put forward the new name. We suggest the new name because we are going to bring it to Senate. So we highlight in the Senate meeting that we have agreed that these are the names. This is a new name for this current program, and it should be applicable to that particular program. and we name straight away the various locations so that we can use that Senate meeting minute can be used by UHAC to bring it to the JKPT so that it is still within the governance because it is being presented at Senate. If we want to wait for UHAC to sort of like, okay, I'll take this program, put in another meeting and come back to Senate. So it will be a long process. So we said we do it here. So one of the members will be the program expert. So it depends on the program that being presented here. So normally we appoint a professor or at least an associate professor to brief us on the sustainability of the program. So we have this meeting, then we submit to the, we present at Senate. So in conclusion, it's only 15 minutes, isn't it? So in conclusion, what we can see here is that you see the interdepartmental collaborations. We need to integrate with them in order to have the compliance, consistency, communication, because we want to make sure our programs are comparable, our graduates are also comparable, credible, and it creates confidence among our stakeholders. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Aziza. We're very sorry we only allocate 15 minutes to each of the panel so that we can have a little bit more of discussions. I know the time is very short, but I think this is a good venue to all participants and the audience, understanding IQAs in different universities under different setup. So that's why after the first panel, we have heard about how Prof. Aziza mentioned about being UITM having different or multiple locations. She has shared with us a very interesting concept of, kind of like future ready QA. That's one of the things that we promote in at MyQAN. We always need to have quality assurance in the university being future ready QA. Means you're already forecasting, what's going to happen, and you get ready to ensure that your quality assurance is in good shape. And then she mentioned the 3 C's for the IQA just now. Very interesting, yeah? In terms of communication, consistency, and compliance. And after that, another 3 C's there that she conclude on the comparable, credible, and the confidence from your stakeholders. All right, after listening from UITM, let us move on to the next focus on quality assurance in the private university. We're going to listen to Tuan Haji Jamaluddin, from the University Technology Petronas. Tuan Haji Jamaluddin Ibrahim is the Senior Manager of the Quality Management Department at UTP. He is responsible for academic and non-academic quality matters. Also responsible for the development, implementation, maintenance, and quality improvement for the university quality management system, ISO 9001, national and international accreditation bodies, quality assurance standards and guidelines and regulatory requirements. As a self-accrediting university, he performs his duty as mini accreditation body, kind of like mini MQA, to carry out academic program provisional accreditation, full accreditation, and re-accreditation. He's also a person in charge for the ISO 9001 internal audit, and also in charge of the self-accreditation research and development, MyRA, High COE, Setara, Petronas, Integrated Assurance Program, IAP, and so on. So all the quality matters is under him. He also spearheads the University Quality Awards on yearly basis. He holds a master's degree in quality and productivity improvement and ISO lead assessor certificate recognized by the Institute of Quality Assurance UK. He is also the president of ASEAN QA Association and the secretary for Malaysian Higher Education Network, MyQAN. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon Haji Jamaluddin Ibrahim for his talk.
Okay, thank you very much for having for the introduction, and thank you also to the organizer and inviting me to be the panel in this forum, and to my colleagues as well. As you know, that University Tanjung Petronas is not a big university. If compared to this public university, we have only two faculties. We have Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Science and Technology. Yeah. So can you go to the next slide? Sorry. Okay, just a background about UTP. This year is our 25 years. Yeah. Establishment, and we have established in 1937. We upgraded 400 acres, and for staff and student, we only have 296 staff compared to ATM. Yeah, and our student only currently about 6,350 students, and we have alumni about 22,047, and we track alumni. Currently, 91% of them are employed within 6 months. Okay? And then our program is very small, only 56 program compared to your ITM, we have 500 hour programs. And faculties, we only have 2 faculties, which are Faculty of Engineering, Science and Information Technologies. Then we have our Foundation Studies Center and Graduate Studies Center. And with regard to research, we have 2 hour high storage SOE, yeah, and X UTP SOE and the center group and interest group. And 97% of our lectures are principal investigated and we have grants. So in terms of ranking, we have rated 6-star for Myra and tier 6 for Satara, and then AUN QS ranked 2072 in Asia, and for time higher education with serious we have 95 in Asia. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How to go back? Okay. Okay. My background, actually, I worked for manufacturing company, for construction company, developer, engineering consultant, and the last. With respect to this, when we work for this manufacturing company, they really need to understand about this meaning quality assurance. They always misunderstood with quality control, and they are very good in queen control. They understand very well, but not quality control. Okay, I just made some study on this one. Okay, how this definition of quality assurance and also quality control, the point of view ISO and point of view of education. So for ISO, as mentioned by Prof. Aziza just now, is to make sure to give assurance, confident that a product service conform to requirement, provide confidence to internally and externally. Is a systematic plan management activities process, step by step, yeah. But when quality control is a detection at the end. So for example, if you are in a house, the quality assurance is the recipe. For example, you make a cake. You follow step by step, and you weight the weight using the balance, you wait for the flour, for the sugar, and you make sure, if industry make sure the weight is, the balance is calibrated. That is quality assurance. But how quality control is, yeah, at the end, how you want to make sure the cake is well baked or not, is you using a fork. So this is the end. So this is the quality control. Yeah, control. Quality assurance is to ensure, but quality control is to detect. So it's similar to quality control, right? To detect where you have going. Okay. Okay. So in education, yeah, we follow this definition from UNESCO, is an ongoing, continuous process of evaluating, which is to guarantee assessing, monitoring, maintaining, and improving of the quality of teachers, higher education system, program, or institution. It is, if you make analogy, it's like when we design a program, the process we go through to design the program is the quality assurance. Yeah, you must make sure your program is aligned with the needs of the stakeholders in the industry. So at the end, your student will be employed by industry. In all the process, you start doing the benchmarking, you structure current structure. Yeah. But at the end, you need to test whether your current structure is relevant or current or sustainable or not. So you have your own internal audit process, or you submit to MQA for professional accreditation or full accreditation. That is the quality control. But you quality assurance is you impose yourself your self-regulation to yourself to make sure your program has quality. So it's different between quality assurance and quality control. Okay. So basically is quality assurance. Quality control is the subset to the quality assurance. Okay? Yeah. Because in your process, you design one by one, step by step. At the end, you must test, must verify whether your product, your services conform to the MyQAN. And then we look at here, yeah, how the about level of quality assurance standard. Basically, do you have by program, program specific quality assurance standard, example EAC, a program standard. Then you have national quality assurance standard, NPF COPIA, and have the international standard ISO 9001, AQRF or ACA. So ISO basically is very generic. You want to zoom in to this for education, go to this COPA for ACA, AQRF. And zoom in to the very specific engineering, for example, then you go to EAC. All these are quality assurance standards. If you do the mapping between ISO, COPA, and EAC and board, you can consider mapping. It's apply the philosophy of PDCA, plan, do, check, act. The plan, do, check. It's the same. The philosophy is the same. Yeah. If there's a wide from, even I'm from the industry, from manufacturing, construction, developer, if it's an engineering consultant, when you have to understand the philosophy, then you can. So this is how we are very small. Yeah? We are only about 700 of our staff. Okay, quality management and assurance organization is the new name for us. It's headed by myself, and we have this the head quality management and assurance. This one in charge for development of quality management system. Okay, she's the one. So development of the policy, development of a guideline, SOP. She's the one. The head to lead this program. And then we have Encik Ime as the quality assurance accreditation. This one mainly to serve for this our self-accrediting university status. Since we are given the liberty, the accountability to accredit our own program, so we need this the mini MQA here. And the process is similar to UITM. Yeah, we also have this internal committee. Yeah, okay. And then Irwan Shah Harudin is the senior executive integrated assurer. This one have to suit the line to make Petronas requirement. This one is very much on risk based. The risk based. So Petronas have identified the 12 risk area. So we have to comply to make sure all the risk areas, for example, legal, procurement, finance, security, HSC, are been assessed on the risk, and we take action on that one. Okay? So that one, okay. And then this one, helmet is on internal audit. This one mainly on internal audit, regardless of ISO or program accreditation or SETARA or MyRA, ICOE. It's us on in-self audit. So all of this one, the four of them, they are at the end of the year, they will come up with analysis from the audit report, from their areas, then how you want to improve further. Yeah, how do you do further? And we have only one assistant and we have one protege with us. So this is a setup at the Nursing Center. Yeah. And how this set up at this department level. Okay. This is the one here. So we have the quality steering committee, which is chaired by all our executive management committee members. It's chaired by the vice chancellor, and with all the head of division are the members, and a secretary is myself. But we had a quality working committee, which is the head, is headed by myself, and the members are, we have two teams: quality assurance team and internal audit team. Yeah, it's mentioned earlier. In quality, we have two. One is quality assurance, another one is quality control. So we need a team to set up the quality assurance, where the members, all the dean, institute directors for research, head of department for administration department, and then department chair or head of department for academic department and faculty executive. Yeah. And the sub members are head or chair of department, institute directors. They can nominate their senior staff, for example, program manager, program leader, academic executive, and to be appointed as members at department level. So the function basically is to work together with us at the center to develop QMS based on relevant quality assurance standard, the ISO, EAC, COPRA, COPIA, and etc. Make sure it's implemented effectively and report any deficiency and recommend for quality action and initiate continual quality improvement initiative at the level, at the division level or department level. And then to verify whether they're doing the job or not, so we have to audit team. Yeah. So we have the lead assessor basically is pointed among the UTP staff who are leading or have been experienced in leading and conducting ASC and POX audit, and UTP, and then auditors are among the staff. The point. Yeah. So this one was established in 2009 when Y department was established. Yeah, to respond to the invitation from MPA to have this APA, Academic Performance Audit. This one of the appointment by the PVC. But gradually, we evolved in 2017, we have this structure, and then we put all of them in their job description. Quality is their responsibility. Their responsibility, all of them. So it's automatic. Yeah, it's automatic. So we can easily call them for a meeting. Monthly, you have monthly meeting. If there is any requirement need to be addressed, you can call them for a meeting. You work together with them. So we have also 3C. We apply 3C. Yeah. Importantly is communication. Always in communication with them, with the team members. So communicate, we create confidence. Confidence, we create cooperation, and we work together as a team. So there is the, here is the summary from the previous slide. It is actually the same. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Tuan Haji Jamaluddin. It was really on time, very good. He must have practiced. Actually, yeah, he has a lot of vast experience in the industry, so you can see his model work, taking from his experience from the industry and bring it to a university. And he talks about a lot on the PDCA and how do you ensure quality. UTP is the parent company of UTP is Petronas, just quite similarly like my university, which is UNITAN. That's why I think some of the things we actually following kind of like the corporate or industry kind base of system. So we also have ISO and internal audits from our parent company as well. So I think, so this is another model. I think for the participants, this is a good venue that you can benchmark from these kind of private universities. You can see that the way UTP functions is slightly different. He has small, UTP has a small team, but he actually leveraged to the teamwork with the rest of the faculties, the heads, the deans from other faculties. So he has the power to call up. So maybe when you are leading quality assurance, you need to have this kind of, how do you make sure you have the power to call them up, to call the deans? So the key point that he mentioned is on the collaboration. It's very, very important to get that engagement. I think the participants here as well learned that in these few days, and I think you can see now the actual model that is being implemented in other universities. Okay, very well, very good. So now we move on to our third speaker, okay, Professor Dr. Yahya Matsam. Professor Dr. Yahya is the Director for Quality and Risk Management Center, UTM, okay, or we call it QRIM, yeah? QRIM UTM, since 2015, and as an elected UTM Senate member since 2017. His academic background is in the electrical engineering field and specialized in control engineering. Professor Dr. Yahya was the chairman for Malaysian Public University Quality Council for 2016-2017, and an active committee member of Malaysia Higher Education Institutions Quality Assurance Network, MyQAN. He has served as an auditor assessor for the MQA, AUNQA since 2010 and 2015, respectively. He is also appointed as auditor and advisor for SETARA 2017 and SETARA 2022 by the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia. Internationally, he has performed academic program audits in Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and Bangladesh. He is a trainer for AUNQA Tier 1, training staff from ASEAN universities on AUNQA framework implementation since 2018. Wow, so such a long have gone to various countries. So I'm sure we want to listen more from him. And his topic also is quite interesting, yeah? It's beyond the national framework. So let us listen to Prof. Yahya. The floor is yours, Prof. Yahya.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good afternoon. Thank you, Bahani, for nice introduction. All right. And also good afternoon, participant. All right. So today I want to talk. I said that beyond, okay, what maybe that you have studied or you have learned, okay, from your QA training. All right. I want to share with you my experience serve as assessor for Asian University Network Quality Assurance. Okay, as Pohana mentioned, all right, I've assessed more than about 30, 40 universities, okay, in Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, all right, and also Bangladesh, all right. So you can see that I think we are very much familiar with this on the left, all right, figure here is our MQF, okay, the highest quality assurance document in Malaysia. If you're not compliant to the MQF, meaning that your program will be failed accreditation. It's very important. All right. Then on the right, all right, this is we call that global accreditation or assessment body in the world. All right. I think some of you very familiar with the AACSP, right, for the business school. For those that, if you have accredited by this program, you can increase your tuition fee, triple, double. Then student or the candidate will, all over the world, will come to your school. If you do promotion, the first question, if you are from business school, your program accredited under AACSB, okay? If yes, they will register to enroll the program. If no, they just take a souvenir, then go to the next booth. All right. ABET, okay, American Accreditation Body. Okay, actually EAC, okay, EAC using the ABET criteria for the engineering accreditation in Malaysia. All right. I believe none of the university in Malaysia be accredited under ABET. Okay, but I will share with you that our neighbors, all right, they use ABET is one of the criteria, one of the platform, okay, to determine the quality of their program. All right. Then ENQA, European Standard. None of the University of Program in Malaysia make use of this standard, I believe. All right, from my experience. All right. But our neighbor, they are, I can say that, aggressively, okay, now moving to this standard. Meaning that we are make use of the local standard, but our neighbor make use of the national standard. I will share with you result from this phenomena or this situation. Okay, at the end of my presentation today. Okay. Here. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. I start with JDT. Very inspired team. Okay, JDT. Okay. I don't think so that TMJ attended any QA leadership course. But he managed, okay, to, I can say that, take care the JDT team, I can say effectively and become one of the giant in Asia, if not in the world. All right. So if talk to the school kids, all right, what they want to be? They want to be a JDT player. As JDT player, their salary triple, okay, higher rather than a professor. Yeah, they drive Porsche, they drive Mercedes. They don't drive Proton. No. Yeah, will actually affect their skill on the field if they drive Proton. All right. Then how JDT can become a champion? All right. This is the formula. All right. They don't want to be a jago kampung. You got a jago kampung, right? Jago kampung. They want to be a great player. To be a great player, you have to compete with the great international player. Yeah, that's why they're important. All right. The international, call that, bring the international player, okay, into the JDT team. Okay, they share their skill that between the local, also the international players. All right. Then they compete in the international competition, all right, the Asian level. Okay. Then they do the, we call that, benchmarking, friendly match with the international team. Okay. Then how now they can measure, okay, we call that, determine the first, when you write the site, you have to determine the gap analysis, right? Okay. That this is process we call the gap analysis. Okay. They can determine where they are, then how they can go to the next level. Okay. That's how the JDT did for how the TMJ did for the JDT team. I hope that one day you also will do it for your university. The same approach. All right. Okay. This is my journey as a QA, not as QA practitioner. Okay. I have been working since 2003 or 2004. Okay. I did it the first day that we are exposed with the OBE. Okay. What is the PLO? What is PEO? Okay. By that time, I think very, I can say, limited, I can say that references, okay, about the OBE. You have to determine yourself, okay, how to measure, okay, the PLO must be, we got it smart, okay, measurable, okay, relevant, all right. But how to do that? How to measure the PLO? Okay, then we have to find ourselves, all right. Then we have a discussion. Then we come with the idea, or PLO can be measured by using maybe the test, maybe the exams, so on and so forth. All right. Then as my role as a head department, I have to prepare the SAR or the EAC for the first time, use a OBE approach. All right. Then I joined QRIM in 2012 or 2013. UTM was awarded the self-accreditation status. All right. And at the same year, okay, we have to do we call that compliance compliance audit to the postgraduate program. Okay, in UTM, we have about 200 postgraduate programs. Okay, I joined unit quality university. Okay, I joined UKU, still remember, in October 2012. Then in May 2013, I have to design the assessment tool. I have to identify the assessor. Okay, how to manage everything, ensure that we can do the compliance audit for the postgraduate. Right. Then since I think 2015, involved in the AUNQA, as the AUNQA assessor. This is a new paradigm shift for me. Whereby I have a chance to see, although in ASEAN, but you can see that, all right, from what I learned. That's why I want to share today. All right, you can see that when we talk about Indonesian, we know that usually the Indonesian, they came to Malaysia as a buruh, as a labor, as a maid. All right, but I'll share with you what happened nowadays. Okay, these are tools that as a QA, you are future become the, we call that QA leader, all right? QA leader. Okay, these are tools that not necessarily to remember, but you should know where to find this in which document. All right, you just store in your computer. All right, in the meeting, you open I can say that all the standard. All right, because if you are the QA leader, you become the reference, for the university. They say in UTM, I'm the last gatekeeper. The VC, the chair of the Senate, will look at me. All right, QRIM, okay. If I say okay, they say okay. So as the dean, they have to have a good that friendly with me. Otherwise, they are in trouble. No, right, correct. Okay. Quality is correct. Quality, we don't compromise quality. Either the dean is my friend, my classmate. Okay. If your friend, your program fail, then fail. All right. But to make a decision, either yes or no, my self credibility, that you know that your decision will affect the university future. It's very important. All right. Therefore, as a leader, is the only 5 documents. All right. The first one on the MQF. All right. What's about MQF? Now we have MQF 2.0, the COPPA, the latest COPPA, program standard, and so on. All right. Then as creator, you must you call that the in Islam we call the kitab. Okay. That you have to know. Okay. Where to get this information, then you give advice accordingly to the university authority. All right. Okay. Accreditation. Okay, in our country. Okay, in our country, we have 3 layers of accreditation. Provisional. All right. When you want to start the program, you want to ensure that the curriculum is correct. All right. Then after you start the program, you have the we call the full accreditation. All right. After that, some usually call the re-accreditation, some usually call the compliance audit. All right. This is maybe this first time you see these rubrics based on MQO 0.4. Okay, In our country, we have a report, two type of report, qualitative and quantitative. All right. This is a quantitative report. All right. You can see that AL1 to AL5. Okay. If one of the, this based on we call that area, right? Our area, okay? Based on area, none of the area that lay under AL1, AL2, then fail. The program will be failed for the accreditation. At least AL3. All right. So therefore, just now I mentioned about the accreditation. Okay. For the provisional accreditation, at least you get AL3. Right. After one cycle, completed one cycle, let's say for a master's program, 3 years, for the undergraduate, 5 years, what do you expect the level of your program? Still at level 3? After the second cycle, third cycle, still at the level 3? No. Should be beyond level 5. Yeah? Beyond level 5. Because now you're at the second cycle, third cycle. Okay? If you are the first time, yes, you can be at the level 3, level 4. All right? Okay. This theory by this professor, okay, Lindsay Haywood from Australia, okay, did a study. All right. Then we start with the National Quality Assurance Framework. This is our MQF. All right. Everyone have a, we call that spirit, all right, energy, okay, to make sure that their program pass the accreditation. All right. At one time, this might be happening. Then recently, you know that one university in Cyberjaya, okay, the program, the accreditation program have been revoked. Then the student, okay, bring the university to the court, ask 5 million compensation. Right? Why? Because everyone said that once they had the accreditation, everyone relaxed. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, that's,
Maybe you can conclude. Yeah.
okay. This is if, okay, we make use of the, we call that principle-based approach that I continue later on. All right. This is different if you just use, we call that if the MQA use a rule-based approach. Okay, meaning that you have to meet the minimum standard. But the principle-based, they didn't set the minimum standard. Okay, I will continue with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yahya. Very interesting concept with the JTT as an example. I think first time, huh? Talking about QA and football. Yeah, so very interesting. Yeah, I think in the beginning, he actually emphasizes the importance of the international recognition. That's where we're heading, talking about future QA, talking about beyond national standards. So he actually nailed it with this last slide, talking about, you know, the principle-based approach versus the rule-based approach. So we hope we want to continue, because I think a lot of questions people talk about the beyond national standards. Maybe we want to start this session. The next slot is question and answer with the panel itself. We start with Prof. Aziza, you know, continuing beyond national standards. Maybe what's your opinion about it? What's your perspective? Maybe you can give one example of, you know, beyond the national standards.
Thank you, Prof. Hanim. I would very much agree with Prof. Yahya, because kita Selangor punya tu tak kuat macam JDT kan, so kita tak boleh guna lah tu sebab kita kat Shah Alam. Tapi kita agree that going global is the moving of our QA now, because we should not stop at complying to the minimum standard. We should be going beyond AL5 attainment level 5, so go international. And after all, we want to put our higher institutions in the global map, so we should be going for just now ABET and AACSB. I think we should congratulate UUM because they have got the AACSB for their post. Yes. We were in the league, but UITM was in the league, but we lose to them. So we're going to for that also. All right.
Thank you very much, Professor. Maybe your perspective on this, Tuan Haji?
Okay, thank you for coming. Yeah, if we refer as a university, we just refer our program. It's a standard, set an MPE or an education body. Actually, it's set a minimum level. That's not minimum level. Well, if you want, because you know quality is not a destiny, it's a journey. You need to keep improve and improve. So if you want to improve further, and you might measure your program, and you see at the now we have a national level, then go to regional level, maybe AU and PD standard. After the international level, then we need to see how you want to move forward. So at least your program recognized by international accreditation body. For example, AU and PD. And then for UTP, or 2 our programs recognized by international body, one is applied chemistry, yeah, accredited by Royal Chemistry of UK. Another one for petroleum geoscience by Institute of Petroleum Geoscience UK. So you should the spirit to continue to improve. I mean, if good if we apply to this international standard. Yeah. So because BTCA is not one off, it's 1, 2, 3, and until it's a long chain.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, coming back to Prof. Yahya, I know you talk about this international recognition, but I think our framework itself, our national framework, Malaysian Quality Assurance framework, has already complied to this international framework. So we are already mapped to the ASEAN Quality Assurance framework. And maybe for talking about ABET, yeah? For the engineering, we already complied to the Washington Accord. We already there. Our national framework is already complied to the international standards. So why do we still need to go for international recognition? Maybe your perspective, Prof.
Okay, I will answer your question the other way around, not directly. Okay, it's kebat. Soalan kebat, kebat. All right. I'll continue that. I will answer the question. All right. This is the accreditation body, okay, around the globe. All right. But I want to emphasize on this. All right. The Action Vision Network Quality Assurance. All right. This is one of them. Okay. Then I will take Indonesia as a case study. Indonesia have their Bangi, because badan similar to MQ. Okay. They also similar their standard, okay, also comply to the other when we develop the quality assurance, the quality framework, we will refer to some standard, okay, around the world. Then we come up with the quality assurance. All right. Then this is numbers of program in Indonesia and Vietnam has been assessed under AUNQA framework. Although they have their own framework, okay, but why they go to this framework? Okay, this AUNQA, because the difference is actually I have a comparison 1-to-1 between AUNQA. All right, if you, I'm not sure, maybe the next slide. If you go through, I have a chance, I will give you maybe the slide after this. All right, you do the comparison. All right. In the AUNQA, each of there is the 8 criterion. Each of the sub-criterion, they are looking for the PDCA. Okay? PDCA in the inner loop. Okay, the outer loop that used by the MQA. All right, the MQA is chapter 7 about the curriculum review, right? Right, or the review. All right. In AUNQA criteria, they mentioned about 4 things. Okay, establish, meaning that you have to execute. Monitor, meaning you have to check it. All right. Enhancement, Okay, you have to improve. And another one, benchmarking. Okay, you are good, but compared to what? JDT is good compared to which club? Barcelona. You cannot say JDT is good compared to Selangor. It's wrong. Right? Yeah, this thing. That's why that they understand. All right. We have to.
It's answering.
All right. Answer the
You can
question.
use- you can
All right.
use-
Then you can see that. Get that. Why? Okay, that. Although because back to the if you actually I have table. Okay, comparison between the rule base and the principle base. Okay, rule base comply minimum compliance you pass. Okay, but for principle base you have to you have a chance to be a world class program, world class university. Okay, that maybe I will share after this. Okay, the we call that the skill that make use with some of the international framework. Okay, thank you.
Finish. Maybe yeah, just like they want
Sure.
to know that your
Oh, okay, I can continue.
answer my
continue.
question.
All right.
Why
All
you want to go for international?
Okay, all right. Okay, this is the IUNQ framework. All right. Okay, this is the we call that comparison between local and between our MQA, KMQF, and also the ANQA. I just think I did the ANQA as a case study. Yeah. Okay. All right. You can see that none of the criteria talk about the CQI. Yeah, because the CQI is set in the each of the criteria talk about the CQI.
Within.
Yes, within. All right. Okay. All right. Then this the we call the rubrics. All right. Use let's say for the AUNQA. All right. You can see the 1, 2, 3 fail. There are three things when we do the assessment. Okay. First, we consider your effectiveness of your IQA in the university. Okay. Then as auditor, also you can say that all nice thing about your program without any evidence. You have a meeting with the stakeholders, blah, blah, blah. When we see the document, where's the minute of meeting? You're going to show the minutes. Okay. Then the evidence is important. Then the third component is a result. Okay, from the K. If you look here, this for level 4, 5, 6, and 7. For level 4, you complete the first cycle, you get 4. You go another cycle, you get 5. Because now you get the better improvement. Okay, you go to level up to level 6. You can see that, meaning that you have challenged yourself. All right. I don't think it's not appropriate if the first cycle you're level 4, second cycle level 4, because that is no improvement about the quality. Okay. Therefore, you have to look 3 components. Okay. Your IQA, effectiveness of your QA or IQA. All right. And how you keep all the document, your evidences. All right. Then how you observe the result. Okay. This you want to compare how we just do the assessment in MQA is compared to this. Okay, you can see that it's clearly, okay, you can determine where you are.
Okay,
Are you
thank you
continuing
very
with
much. Yeah, Prof. Yeah, it's just saying that's why he keeps emphasizing beyond level 5. Yeah, because actually this is where we're heading. Yeah, example world class best practices. So we go to the next round of a question. Yeah, maybe this one I open to any of you. Some of the participants in the Lead QA training here, they are actually involved in projects, and we realize a lot of them are maybe at a program level. Okay, there are some of them in university level, but maybe they are also at the program level. Maybe how do you see when we talk about beyond the national standards, any practices that you want to share with them, when they develop this QA practices at the program level, any specific practices that you want to share?
beyond the national.
I give you a lot of tips, right? Use the AUNQA criteria. Okay, I think the pass to the rest.
Program level.
Maybe in terms of, the way they teach, or, based on the 7 areas, maybe one of the areas you want to talk about.
When they prepare the document,
Anything you want to share.
but I can share is that when we look at, I think this is in line with what Prof. Yaya has mentioned, because when we look at the university level, when we at IQA look at the program document being prepared, we can see the difference between those who are under professional body accredited and the MQA accredited. For example, we can see a very structured document being prepared by engineering faculties because they have to comply very much to EAC, isn't it? Then, so we can see that when they talk about the area 1, when it comes to needs analysis, you can see clearly the evidence of minutes of meetings, like what Prof. Yaya has mentioned, minutes of meetings, who contributed to the meetings, what are the ideas that are being proposed in the meetings, and at the end of the meeting, they have put in which ideas have been taken into consideration that should be embedded in the program. So I really see the difference between the international player and the local player among the program at UITM. I can tell that.
Okay, very good. Yeah, because as I mentioned, maybe some of the programs are already comply to the international standards, although we are using national. So that's why maybe the way they prepare the program standards will be at a certain level. So yeah, so maybe that is one of the things that when we develop the process or the guidelines, we need to take that into considerations when we're talking about beyond the national standards. Okay, and Tuan Jamal, you want to add on this?
Yeah, as we know that in Malaysia we have a standard. We have respect to the program level. When opting for professionalization of qualification and comply first most important MPL. Then this conventional one you have to comply for far. And after that program standard based on national level. But if you want to go beyond this national standard, it's good if we can accredit program get accreditation from the international accreditation body. They must have something extra. Yeah. For example, in our case, in our example, applied chemistry program. So whereby this program is accredited by the biochemistry of the program. So we not only national requirement, also the national requirement. So at the end of the program, we want to tell our potential stakeholders that our program not is the quality is not only recognized in Malaysia but also by international body. Another program is also the same, but it's still recognized by international body.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, quick one.
Okay, one area that you can consider, okay, in your case study about the assessment. If you are a lecturer, 95% students get A in your class, you can say, hooray, okay, can happy that? Okay, you have to, for the next semester, you have to look back your question, all right? Then, if question, you have a Bloom taxonomy, if you use Bloom, right? Okay, most of them, Malaysian do Bloom, either revised Bloom or Blooms, all right? You have to see your question, the component of level 1, level 2, level 3, how many percent? Now you push to the higher level. You can see your student, performance of your student. That you can see that either that you can see that either the quality of student will be increased. All right. Then you can see all the standard question, either your question is, I can say that, related to the industrial practice nowadays. Okay. That's why, okay, if you when you do your, they say, we talk about the 7 area in MQF, right? Right. You have to include PDCA to each of the sub-criteria. PDCA. Okay. Always, okay. Get the result, review the result, do the improvement, corrective action, do it again, see the result. Okay. Again and again. How you can improve to be the world-class university.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. We don't have much time, but I really want to open one question from the audience. Anyone of you want to ask any question? Normally they are active, participants here. Maybe it's in the afternoon. Okay, yes, please.
Okay, I'm just asking to one of the panel, anyone who wants to answer this. Okay, I'm basically head of program. So one of my projects is actually I want to do the benchmarking. But sometimes benchmarking is something for you not easy to execute because sometimes it's involved budgeting, right? But how in terms of the program, how can I execute this at the program level? That's my question.
Okay. I Prof. Aziza. Right. Benchmarking. Yes, I agree. Difficult to get data. Okay, because data is some really confidential data for the universities. All right. But you also can do benchmarking for with the others program that is more or less similar nature with your program. Not actually to go to, if possible, do benchmarking with other university, the better university. But if not possible, benchmarking also can be carried out with other program that nature of the program more or less similar to your program. There is the internal benchmarking. Okay, you still can do that. Maybe Prof, can do it out.
Actually, benchmarking, you can actually do a web benchmarking. Look for what, like from so look at international universities as well as the local universities. And when you do the benchmark, you set certain criteria that you want to benchmark. Probably the content, if it's available, or the credit hours, and the staffing. So the staffing, look for what kind of qualifications that they have for their staff to teach the program. So it is good that you set the criteria that you want to benchmark, what you want to benchmark. If it's at the program level, I would say that should be.
With regard to the benchmarking of program, sometimes the document, the data is confidential, involve some money as well. So our experience, because we have desktop benchmarking. We cannot do it physically. We do it through desktop, stuff in the internet, or the most good is we can visit the other program, the other university. And it's be done at the level, at the department level. But at the same time also, after we get that one, we engage in industry. Yeah, we engage in industry. Let's say you are from petroleum engineering, is Petronas, Lamberger, for example, Shell. Sit together with us, go together with us on the look at the outcome, the structure, really. So the three important thing is you develop, make sure it's current, relevant, and sustainable. When you carry out review also the same thing, is it current? Is it relevant? Is it sustainable?
Okay, thank you very much for all the inputs. We don't have much time. I think we have to finish up at 3 o'clock. But I would like to give the opportunity to all the panelists to just give maybe 1 or 2 minutes conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, I conclude first because I'm the last speaker, right? The last speaker we start first. Okay, can you add on the slide? Okay, can you go to the slide? Okay. No.
He wants to continue his slide. But very important, yeah.
Okay, go to the slide. Okay, to the slide.
Don't continue all.
conclusion.
Okay. This is FDI for 3 countries, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia, from year 2019, 2020, and 2021. I disclose the figures, the numbers. Otherwise, someone will knock my door tonight. They bawa akta menghasut. Okay, I give you the figure. Okay, you carry around the figure. Okay. In 2019, Indonesia, FDI, 30 billion. Vietnam, 16 billion. Malaysia, 8 billion. Right? For 2020, Indonesia, because we start pandemic, all right, the pandemic, right? Right. Indonesia, 18.5 billion. Vietnam, 15.8 billion. Malaysia, 3.5 billion. Okay. 2021, Indonesia, 31.1 billion FDI, all right? Then Vietnam, 90.7, Malaysia, 11.5. Okay. This is the result of, okay, why okay, the government pump money to the university, invest to the university, okay, you have to go global, okay? Then, this is the, this next slide, please. Okay, you can see that this is the result from investment from the government in education, right? Why they go for the global? For this, global trust them. Yeah, you can see that this is the giant company, Tesla, opened the largest battery, lithium battery in Indonesia. Okay, Google, Amazon, and so many work 5-star. Yeah, the investor came to Indonesia, invest in Indonesia. On what reason? They say, I'm owner of the Tesla. Why I have to, how I made the decision to open, let's say, factory in Indonesia? Of course, one is political stability. Second, do I trust Indonesian people can work in my factory? Yes. They trust very much. All right. Then how they trust that? Because they know that the level of education that the Indonesian now having is higher. Then they just can work with their, we call that high-end industry, high-end industry. Okay, high-end technology industry. Okay, that the effect you can see that if you're global will trust you. If you go local, not necessarily local will trust you. Okay, that I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Good conclusion. Huh? I think so actually maybe Prof. Yaya is contributing towards that, you know, when you actually get this international recognition, you are contributing to the economy and also the ripple effect, you know, you being the QA leaders later on, you should also have an impact to the country. I think that's the thing, how you actually roll out your universities to be the leaders of the QA and also international recognition. Okay, next question.
Okay, thank you, Prof. I echo, yeah. I mean, the student, I can consider it as the advice from our advisor. If you go global, then local will recognize. Yeah. Yeah, we need to have the some sort of aspiration need to go, I mean, global. But it has to be designed in such a way gradual. Should be gradual, not so immediate. So I know some of you are you are new in QA, for example, and you play a role as QA is for us, for example, we are developing system and auditing as well. So we treat the other counterparts, yeah, and the stakeholders, our department, the team, for example, as a friend, yeah, not as a we not being seen as a police. So as facilitator also have the helper as well. If the department or the program have problem, we go as a QA, go and help. They don't have to know how to go about, how to maneuver, try to help them. It is the role of QA. Actually, as seen as facilitator, as also as mediator, for example. Sometimes certain department, it's not in tandem. They are not aligned, not in the same mode, for example. So you have to come and mediate. Yeah. So yes, if you want to go for global, you should be designed, but not by default, staggeredly and gradually. Thank you.
Very good, very well. So QA leaders are actually partners and maybe the agent for your university transformation, I would say, to conclude that. Thank you very much. Now we move on to Prof. Dr. Aziza.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Hanim. Before going global, I think we do benchmarking among the locals. That will be the basic one, because Tuan Haji said, don't do it abruptly, you do it gradually. So get to know the locals, benchmark among yourself. For example, among us, among the MyQAN committee MyQAN members, we benchmark against each other, we learn from each other, we treat our colleagues as not competitors, as partners. So it is very important when you lead a quality assurance department, you must really know the process, the people, your establishment. Then you know the governance, you know the process, you can actually go global easily. So you may start like for the programs, like for example, in our university, we have accounting programs. We make sure that the accounting programs are being recognized by the professional body. So we get as many exemptions as possible from the professional body. So that is partly of recognized by the global professional bodies. I think we have to go know the locals, benchmark, and then gradually we go to international. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Aziza. So well said from her heart, doing it slowly but surely. And also networking, emphasizing, maybe being in MyQAN, maybe some of the universities are not the members, institutional members yet with MyQAN. MyQAN is a very good platform for all the QA practitioners and enthusiasts to actually come together and do some benchmarking. Yeah? Once you are in the network or any other QA network, even internationally, you can easily benchmark with all of these universities, as a friend, as partners, inshallah. Okay, I guess that's all. Thank you very much to all the panel. Give them a round of applause. So with that, I end this forum session. So thank you very much. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Hanim. Thank you very much to all the panelists, and a special thanks to MyQAN for actually supporting this event. I hope the participants physically and also online had an opportunity to learn from the very senior QA practitioners. Okay.